mindset, the peace mindset, the relaxation mindset. Keep a positive outlook, trying their best to make. I come to you today with the concept and the thought of how many people I know who are going through life's trials and tribulations, like really hard. How unreal it is for so many. Trying their best to keep a positive outlook, trying their best to manage day to day, keeping a smile on their face when turmoil and falling apart is happening all around them. You know, it's normal to watch the world and watch people go through that, but it's really hard when it's somebody that you care about. Because as people are struggling with the thought that life is hard, here I am thinking about how easy life is. And easy and hard has nothing to do with the materialistic things. It's really the mindset, the peace mindset, the relaxation mindset. What are you doing? What are we doing differently? And I speak to you from a position of change, a position of transformation, a position of I used to be there, where the world and the world's issues, the world's problems weighed on my shoulders heavy like a ton of bricks. And the featherweight feeling that I live and have right now has to do with a few principles. And that's where the conversation begins. It's not that you and I have different belief systems, different faith systems, different principles. It's, are you practicing your principles? Are you living by the principles? If you and I had a conversation and I made a principle statement, you're like, yup, I like that one. I like that one. Do you live by that one? Are you practicing that one? Listening to these conversations, these videos, these Instagram posts, these Facebook posts won't help you if you just agree. They won't help you if you just nod your head in agreement. Until you start to live by these principles, you won't see a change in your life. And you'll find yourself in this reciprocation that every year you're going through the same stuff. You've been here before, it hurts, it's slowing you down, you get ahead a little bit, and then you find yourself right in the same setback. You're climbing this ladder, you take 5 steps forward and 10 steps back. The math does not add up. You are not winning, and there's a reason. There's a reason. And in this series, we're gonna study some of the things that you can do to really, really step up the ladder and never look back. Will there be setbacks? Will there be setbacks? I actually say no. There'll be slowdowns. There'll be standstills. There'll be pause for a moment and meditate on the reasoning. Setbacks are situations where you didn't use the opportunity to win, to learn, to grow. Yo, Ty, I heard you lost this contract or lost that contract. Nah, I got reminded on what to do differently to never let it happen again. Loss, setbacks, it's not in the vocabulary. The vocabulary says pause, think, listen. The vocabulary has to switch, it has to change how your perspective is. I recently spoke to a dear friend, and the question came, have you truthfully made efforts to progress? Have you experienced failure in that attempt for progression? And yes. So you know what failure feels like. So you've been there before. You've been there before. You failed at the attempt of new progression. You experienced some progress, and then you find yourself in this pause moment, and you've been around this circle before. So pain, hurt, disappointment, you already know what that's like. Pain, hurt, and disappointment, you already know what that's like. Now let me ask you this. So since you failed before trying to do it your way, that takes away the risk of trying to do it differently. See, what I'm offering, and some of you may have already tried it, is a way to try it differently. Once you've already failed, what is the fear? Once you've already failed, what is there to fear? Why not try something new? Why not try something different? I want your next failure to be because you didn't follow your own rules, principles. How do you set up your own rules and principles? Number 1, pencil or pen, paper, in a quiet space. I need you to go someplace quiet, alone. I need you to just answer a few questions about, watch this, what you want. Oh my gosh. I find arrogance and power and confidence in the idea that I have the power to say what I want. I have the power to design what I want. I have the power to write down what it is I want. I find great strength in that power alone. So those of you who are feeling weak, you're going through life, you're not feeling in control, you're grown up, you got children, but you're not feeling in control of your own life. Power number one, take your power back. Number one, sit down and answer the question, what is it that I want? What do you want in your relationships? Husband, wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, I don't care. What do you want? What are you looking for in a spouse? What are you looking for in a life partner? What are you looking for in that person that's gonna ride with you side by side? What are you looking for? What do you want? Whenever you can't answer what you want, go ahead and think about what you had or have that you don't like. Start there. I don't want. I no longer want. If you start there at number 9, number 10, number 11, number 12, by the time you get to number 1, you'll start going ahead and examining what it is that you do want. What do you want in career? How do you serve this life? How do you serve this earth? How do you serve people? In any career you're serving, trust me, it's not the video for that. We're not gonna argue that. In any career, you're in a position to serve, trust me. How do you wanna earn income? How do you want to work, to have a career? What is it that you always dreamed of? If there's multiple things, write that down. What skills and talents do you have to bring to the table for your own business? If those are dual answers, where you're working and having a career paid by somebody else, but you also have a passion for purpose where you own your own, write both of those down. What is it that you want around your career? What is it that you want around your work life? What kind of parent do you want to be? What is it about parenting that you absolutely love? What is it about finding the time to be a parent? What is it about being consistent about being a parent? What do you dream and hope for your children that you want to make sure that you deliver as a parent? Write that down. Do you want a spiritual life? Do you want a spiritual journey? Do you want a better understanding of what it means to have a relationship with God? Do you want a better practice of principles of prayer, of thankfulness, of forgiveness? What is it that you want in your spiritual life and spiritual journey? How do you practice? How do you show up in that life? Are you the light in where you go? Are you carrying God inside of you that everybody recognizes the God in you in your life? How do you want to experience finances? Are you working at a deficit right now where your earnings outweigh your expenses? Have you written down your earnings and your expenses and your debts to be able to find a level of peace, of understanding of where you want to be if you're not there already? Have you found a level of balance? Congratulations, a level of balance, but you still understand there's more for you. There's more in store for you. Have you written that down? Answer that question about your finances. What kind of family member do you want to be? To your mom, to your dad, your grandma, to your nieces and nephews, to your aunts and great aunts, your great grandparents. Is there anything about family that you want to repair? Is there anything about better communication, better connections with family that you want to give? What will make you happy? Let's as we move through these series of questions, let's not forget where we're at. We're talking about designing on paper the life that you want. We're talking about taking back the power and starting off, number 1, with writing it down. Number 2, with giving clarity to the question. Friends. Who's your first circle of friends? Who's your second, a little wider, a little further away circle? And who's your third circle of friends? Advice. Not telling you what to do. Keep it small. Keep it real. Be honest. Write down what friendships and social life looks like to you. Write down what sister support or brotherly support looks like to you. Write down what kind of friend you would like to be. Because we have to understand the concept of pouring from an empty cup is not working for you. It's not working for you. We have to change that. So what friendships are reciprocated? Where you pour into them and they pour into you. Are they honest? Ask the questions. Are they honest? Do I have to keep my mask on and my face on for this person? Can this person see directly through me, knowing that when I say I'm fine, no, you're not? How many of those do you have? Who are you for that person? Who are you to that person? Are you able to keep them honest? Keep them fulfilled? Keep them excited about life? Keep them truthful about life? Who are you so excited about sharing this opportunity with to write it down? Again, without it being written, without answering the question of what do I want, we've already experienced failures. See, here's the difference. When we pick these bold areas of our life, we clearly write down what it is we want, what it is we don't want. Whenever we find ourselves in a falling down phase, we can go back to the plan. Prior to this conversation, the plan probably was never written. You probably had it up here, you probably had it in here, but it wasn't written. I find great joy in just revisiting the plan. Revisiting the plan gives me an opportunity to say, where did I go wrong? What principle of mine did I not follow? What corners did I cut? What hurdles did I try to go underneath instead of flying over? Revisit the plan. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to rewrite the plan. It's okay to go to edit, to cut, paste, copy, and repeat. It's okay. But let's go ahead and move past it's okay not to have one. Because in this plan, I'm gonna tell me what it is that I enjoy, what it is that I want. It's hard to articulate it to my spouse if I haven't decided for myself yet. It's hard to articulate it to my life partner if I haven't decided for myself yet. We are taking back control over our life. We are living on the power that we can say what it is we want, that we can write down the plan and make it plain, and we can go ahead and revisit the plan when we need to remind ourselves where we went wrong. And as you go through this new year, as you go January, February, March, you're gonna revisit this plan minimum once a month. Anytime you find yourself in an unhappy state, a state of uncertainty, you go back to the plan. If there's a new bold area that you realize you haven't written down yet, I didn't go through the part of the video where it said I need to talk about my relationship with my mother. I want to be more specific about what it is that irritates me, that pokes my buttons, and that upsets me, and that keeps making me riled up. Write it down. Here we go. Continuing on the conversation and writing it down. Do you care enough to go through a forgiveness list? Do you care enough to write out a I need to apologize list? Do you care enough? That's an important part of this question. You gotta decide. Some relationships don't need to be fixed. Some relationships or some wounds don't need to be closed. But the ones that you valued, the ones that you miss, the ones that come back to haunt you. Again, this is not spiritual and emotional. This is scientific. In science, there's a rule that what goes up must come down. There's a rule of what you put out will come back. So even if you don't care about fixing a relationship, what do you need to get off your chest? What do you need to give closure to? Let's create a forgiveness list. Let's recreate an apology list. Are you in the position to ask for forgiveness? Are you in a position to acknowledge where you may have went wrong? Where you went wrong? Are you in a position, are you ready to put closure on chapters that still haunt you because you know what you did? Again, not in an attempt to open or recreate relationships or friendships. If that happens to happen, if that happens to be the goal, no problem. But just for your own personal cleansing, are you ready? You gotta be careful with this one, because you have to build up yourself to a position of, it doesn't matter what the person says back. It doesn't matter if they receive the apology or accept it. It's about my personal growth to attempt to give it and to release it out of my life once I've done that. This is a major list. Are you ready? I want you to answer the question, what motivates me? What inspires me? What's gonna help me change? For many of us, the answer is our children. I would love you enough for that to be the answer. I would love for you to love you enough for you to be the reason for your own changes, growth, transformations. But I understand. That's the whole point. We're building the you in the first place. So for many of us, it's our children, it's our parents. And I want to speak on the children's part because we can build from there. Just for a second, just look over. They might not be in the same room with you at the moment, but just look at them. Like replay memories in your mind about the amazingness of your kid. I hope you can find a moment where they're laughing and smiling, being silly, jumping around, showing off a talent, a dance maybe, showing off a talent, thinking they're funny. It's full of life. And as you watch this moment, if you think of this moment and you find yourself in a position where you say, I want to be better for them. You know, different people may advise you differently. It's not too late. What you've already shown them, the negative that you already shown them, can't be taken away. It happened. It happened. But what you can show them next is going to teach them the lessons of where I was does not dictate where I'm going. The things that I've been through didn't happen to me, they happened for me. And what you will teach them is that, baby, I may not be there to protect you from everything that you'll go through. I may not be there to make sure that you don't experience the same or similar traumas as me. But the one thing that I can do right now and today is show you how to take those the turbulence, and how to take those negative moments and make them into W moments. I can be honest with you and transparent with you about my story. I can tell you the truth about what I've been through and who I've been. And I can tell you that from one day that I decided never again and no more, you can too. That there was a day where I just decided on paper, my children are my inspiration, my children are my motivation, and never again and no more will I ever settle. Never again and no more will I ever allow abuse. Never again and no more. I am worthy, I am enough, and I deserve better. I deserve better for me, and even in the days where I doubt that I deserve it, my baby deserves it. You deserve it. And because you deserve it, I will pick you first. I will choose you first, and I will be a better version of me. It's effective today, effective right now. And I'll speak my story, and I'll speak my truth of who and how I was prior to this decision. I take control over my life. I take power in my hand, and I made a decision that I will live more for you. How did that feel? How did it feel to know that you made a decision to go back to school so you can have a better career, so that that child can see you go back to school and have a better career? How did it feel to know that you chose to be alone instead of an abusive relationship in front of your child? How did it feel to know that you made a decision to be healthier, to create healthier habits for your child? How did it feel to know that your spiritual journey wasn't a private one only, but you shared the moments with your child? You shared the principles and the stories with your child so they can see it. They can see God working in your life. I pray that these moments are transformational. I pray that you can hear today is the day. Right now is the moment. And there's no better time than today. Write it down. Paper and pen and a declaration. This is my life on paper. As emotional as it may be, as hard as it may be, this is what I've decided I want. And as clear as it may be on paper, life does not have to be hard. Principles of living, learning to forgive and forget, learning to apologize to myself for who I wasn't, for what I didn't learn, for what I didn't pick up, for the many times I got knocked down by the same things over and over again without learning the lessons while down. I apologize to me for that, and I declare no more. Better is ahead of me. My worst days are behind me. And even as I trip, I won't always fall. Even if I stumble, I won't stay down. I look forward to your progress. I look forward to hearing more about your progress. I look forward to sharing with you more principles that's going to help you progress. I really created the life that I wanted. I really made a decision of how I want to live. I invite you to do the same.